Oh, hang on a sec. Just trying to line up the music. Got a candle here. I'm trying to get a bit of a relaxed atmosphere in the Justice Shed to try to reduce the rage levels that I'm currently experiencing. So, quick rant to get out of the way first of all. We found out today that the only way we can stop Sloven's behaviour, their actions towards us, this interminable delay in disciplining their staff, the use of really inappropriate PowerPoints, withholding documents, redacting documents, bullying, lying, the endless sort of set of behaviours they've done since Connor died. We can't do anything other than make an official complaint to them and go through the PALS system again, which is what we did in March 2013. Complained that they didn't listen to our concerns, and they said they did listen to our concerns. The complaint wasn't upheld, and then 10 days later Connor died. So the thought of putting in another complaint is pretty obscene, but at least we know. And then the other thing that was really upsetting today was that with tremendous support from our campaign team, I went back through the FOI documents that are now in a coherent form, and I was struck again by how much all the exchanges, everything that's discussed within the local authority, the CCG and Sloven Health. Well, we don't know much about Sloven Health because theirs were all black, but the three organisations, all discussions around back covering, reputation defending, protecting, denial, retweaking statements endlessly, and there isn't a sniff of Connor in there. There's no sense that a young man died. It's awful. There's no humanity. It really is foul, and eventually I suppose we'll make all this public. There'll be, the whole thing will be researched extensively, and this whole culture of cover up will be laid bare, I think. But it's really upsetting and distressing that nobody seemed to think for a moment, gosh, I've got kids, or that must be awful, or that poor boy, what a terrible thing to happen. There's no sense of that at all. So that's the anger and the rage. So back at the candle, wave the candle around again a bit. But there has been some good stuff this week. The bill was launched, and that was great. I mean, it really did it's got such a good response, and there's so much discussion going on about it. The LB bill Facebook pages is, the sort of engagement with the content of this bill is great, and people are all sort of discussing it and saying what should and shouldn't be included, and really sort of thoughtful, committed responses, and really, really good discussions. That's great. BBC Radio Oxford were brilliant. They again took the bill and ran with it, so to speak. Their coverage was great all day. On the Phil Gale, as usual, shone, and then on drive time they managed to get Norman Lamb in the studio on the phone, and he was really gracious too, because they sort of again said, "Oh, do you mind?" Well, last time they didn't actually ask him if he minded if I was there, but this time they did ask him in advance because they felt as they'd not mentioned the fact that I would be there. They ought to. And he said yes straight away. He didn't mind that I was in the studio too, and he was really enthusiastic, positive, committed and passionate about actually making a change. Now, I was a little bit, did express some misgivings after he'd run off to make his vote, but the next day we got an email from his diary manager. I now aspire to having a diary manager. But yeah, we're going to meet him on the 19th of November, so that's absolutely brilliant. So good for Norman Lamb. And yeah, and then yesterday I went to the Point of Care Foundation and King's Fund conference about patient stories, narratives, transforming experience, numbers. It was such a good conference. It really was a really good lineup of excellent presentations, and it ended with Robert Francis QC doing a really candid question and answer, or a conversation as it was badged, session in which he sort of retold stories that he'd heard through the mid-staff's inquiry that made sort of hairs stand up on the back of your neck. Really, really harrowing stuff, but that was great to listen to him, although I did sit at the back and sort of think, well, actually we're still experiencing that level of cover-up, deceit, denial, all the rest of it. But no, that was a really good day, and lots of really positive interesting, engaging discussion. So yeah, that's it. So you better watch this space, because now we know that Sloven can do what they want. We're going to have to think of something else to do to try to stop them. That should be quite an interesting challenge. And that's it really. So yeah, cool.